It's another K-Town beat.
YouTube, it's your boy, Mr. Outliner. I'm back. Today I'm going to do a neckline taper for y'all before I get into this crispy lineup and everything like that. So, you see what kind of hair we're dealing with. We just want to comb it down, right? And the typical neckline taper, you just want to go to the bottom of the earlobe to make your first guideline. But you see how I'm using my wrist, right? I'm barely holding the clipper, and that's because I don't want to create heavy guidelines, right? And I kind of want to get it as straight across as possible. Then I want to take my adjustable, open it up all the way, and try to remove that first guideline that we did and also create our second guideline, right? So once we do that, we comb it down, make sure all the hair is in place. We want to try to get it as even as possible. It is very detrimental in the back that you get it going straight across so you can get a consistent look on your taper. Next, we want to come with our one guard, right? And I just want to remove that next guideline that we made, the second guideline that we made, and I want to go up and almost create a third guideline, right? I want to go up to the heavy part, but I don't want to make it a heavy line, right? So again, I'm holding the clipper very lightly, and I'm using kind of a scooping motion, right? And I'm also using the corner of the blade. So those things right there will help you, assist you in getting the structure down, right? And I used the one guard here, and I just wanted to debulk a little bit more, right? So now you can kind of start seeing how the fade is going to come together. You can see the dark spots easier, and once you do that, then you can kind of start detailing. Even with whatever guard you're using right here, you can start, knocking out some of the bulk. Now, also, when I come back, I got my zero guard here, and I closed it. You can use the half guard if you don't have a zero guard. Zero guards are with Gamma, Style Crest, and maybe on the Masters they probably have zero guard. But if not, if you're using Wahl clippers, you just want to use the half guard, right? And like I said, I'm using the corner of the blade. Real easy, real simple. The taper on the back of the neck is the same as the taper on the side of the head, right? And I'm just debulking. I'm picking my spots anywhere where I think that line is, like one of those guidelines that I made. I really, at this point, I'm just trying to remove any trace of that, right? If it's looked like it was a guideline there, I want to remove it, and I also want to remove bulk at the same time. So those are the key things that you need to do when you're doing the neckline taper. And because it has so many creases and dents and imperfections, because of how the head is shaped towards the back, then it's going to be a lot more corner work than say on the sides, because it's a lot smoother on the sides. You get a lot easier consistent look, right? So with the back, you just have to do a lot of combing down, making sure the hair is out the way, using the corner of the blade, making sure that you don't make heavy guidelines. Again, if you see any dark spots like I'm looking at right here, I just want to come and clean it. Remember, use the corner of the blade in order to remove bulk. If you're not sure about what size to use the biggest size that you can think of, and work your way down from there until it's all gone. If you see, that's all I'm doing. I'm picking my spots, I'm cleaning, I'm making sure that I knock out any hints of a guideline, and that's how you get a blurry blend or a buttery blend, however you want to call it. That's how we achieve it. Now, once we're done with that, we can come take our Mr. Outliner detailing mist we want to create sharp lines. Now, here you go. If you don't have it, I still have some in stock. If you want to get you some, make sure you go to the link in the description. It's MrOutliner.com. You can pick you up a bottle. Let it dry in the back. The key thing for this haircut is to use the detailing mist is to make sure it dries. And while that's drying, then you can come back, you can focus on the front, right? You can knock down the hairs, so make sure the hair lays down, and you can spray the detailing mist on the front. And while the detailing mist dries on the front, then you can go back and you can line up the back, right? So this is what I normally do. While it's drying, I find something else to do. And of course, you can make it dry faster if you have a blow dryer or something, but I just find something else to do and let it dry at its own pace. It dries in like 2 minutes, maybe a minute and a half it dries, right? But you want to comb the hair into the desired style. Right now we ready for lineup. You see this? Boom. The back is always pretty much easy to make great lines on, but I just wanted to show you how crispy it is on the back. And it's a little better than not using anything at all, right? You can still get a sharp lineup if you just know how to make sharp lineups, for sure. But this guarantees that you'll have a sharp line. It's gonna make it crispy, right? You see that in the blade that I'm using right here? We got the Stylecraft blade right here. Boom, we ready. You in the game. You know what I'm saying? Then you turn around and do the same thing on the other side. So after you're done with all that, now you want to come back and you want to start the crispy lineup process, right? We want to start that crispy lineup, right? So what we're doing right here, we don't want to push it back. We want to use his natural hairline, right? And his hairline is in the front is not perfect. The shape of his head and everything like that. So we really just want to make sure we make it look the best it can look possible without sacrificing much of the hairline, right? Because he had dreads way before, maybe 4 or 5 months ago, so his hairline is different, right? But we're gonna take our time. We're gonna get it sharp anyway. And you see the detailing mist, it helps me make crispier lineups than I would already make, and you can see that right here, right? So I like to just take my time on the lineup part and make sure I just get everything right. I don't use pencils, nothing like that to help me make a straight line. I've seen barbers use the pencil before they even do the lineup to draw the line on there and then do the lineup. I'm more of a natural type person. I can make you a crispy line without all that. I don't even really need enhancements, as you can tell on his haircut, on his line. I don't really need enhancements. Yeah, I use the detailing mist, but it's not an enhancement. It's just helping me keep the skin dry and making the hair stay in place, right? Then we turn them around and do the same thing on this side. Then we finish them off. We turn to the front, make sure we get the front line going. You see how the lineup is higher on the right side of the screen than it is on the left. So typically I would start on the higher side, but I started on the lower side this time. But I still kept it consistent with his natural lineup. Right there in the left corner, I can bring it up a little bit, which I will. But other than that, that's his natural line. Now, once we're done with that, we want to come back. We got our color enhancement. We can use, I use the OG Mr. Walker color enhancement. And if you want to know what type of airbrush gun I'm using, this cordless airbrush gun, I'm going to do a review on that also. So we just want to put the card exactly where the hairline is, and we want to make the hairline, make the color line exactly where we put our natural line. Now, once you're done with that, we come back and use our hair fiber. I use hair fiber to make it even more, make it pop even more. Sometimes you make it look a little bit more full. The only thing I don't really like about color, sometimes it doesn't make it look full as hair fibers, but it lasts longer than hair fibers. So sometimes you have to use a combination of both in order to get the look that you're trying to go for. Right, you see how it filled it up that much easier, right? It gives it a better look. And then once after you put the hair fibers on there and stuff like that, you can come back and hit it with your liners, and boom, pow, bang, whatever that dude say, boom, pow, bang, bada boom, boom, bing, that. You're gonna have all that on the crispy lineup. You know what I'm saying? So once you get these things in place, you just come back and you hit it and make it look really good. And you see, now that we put the fiber on there, it looks darker, so now we can get that crispy on top of what we already had. It was crispy, it was lightly crispy without the enhancements, but it's extra crispy with the enhancements, right? If you get it. That's what it's meant to do. It's meant to give it an extra crispy look, right? We know this. You can have a natural look, you can have a crispy look, or you can have an extra crispy look. Every look is different for every individual person, right? Some people might not like this. They be like, nah, that's too much for me. He from Philly. People from Philly, they like that. You know what I'm saying? They bred on that. They was on this maybe 20, 30 years ago before we all was on it, as far as, YouTube go and stuff like that. So different people from different places, they used to it, they like it, they're okay with it. It's an adaptation for me and where I'm from in Houston, Texas. We in Texas, this is new, but I like it on certain haircuts myself. I don't like it on every haircut, but I like it on certain haircuts. And it brings you money. If you're a barber, you want to learn how to do this in order to build your ticket up. So this is what I do, man. Mr. Outliner, I put the outline on outliners. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? You see what I do? Extra crispy. But anyway, if you haven't, don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend or tell a friend. You know how we do it. Until next time, love, peace, and hair grease. I'm out.